He like broke into one of his ex's houses and started lighting shit on fire or something like that. Like he was on so many drugs. It was crazy.
For that reason, I love him even more now.
Yeah, but like
that's wrong, right?
He got...
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We want to start off today by saying we know you have questions, but we want to start off and give our condolences out to the D'Erico family. Donna and Debbie, you guys lost your brother. Greg Sr., his son. We are sorry, and our condolences go out to you guys for your loss. If you need anything, give us a holler. We are here for you. I've known Debbie for a very long time. Donna as well. Their brother Greg, kind of grew up with them. Again, want to give them a shout out and our condolences. Now, as you can notice, Jay's not here. He is down in Virginia, down there on vacation. So we brought in my son.
What up?
What up, brother?
Hey,
What
Jay.
up?
From another mother?
And, what?
Nothing. Whatever.
I was trying to think of a way that would work.
Well, it works with him.
Well, yeah.
Well,
But
in my head, well,
Yeah.
well,
technically it works for you too, but
whatever.
yeah, exactly.
Just realized.
But so I got my son here, AJ, and he's going to fill in this week. We were talking a couple weeks back about our favorite bands, and he made mention of his favorite artist, who is...
Well, which genre are you talking about?
Well, who's your favorite artist? Who's your favorite?
Well, for rock would be Linkin Park. Linkin Park would be, I mean, that's more alternative than
But that's not who you
anything, but
mentioned
still.
earlier.
Well, I mentioned Eminem.
I love M&M's, especially the peanut ones.
Lose yourself.
That was a terrible joke.
I can edit that
I've
out.
only heard it like 30 million times.
I do. I like Eminem. He's my favorite song is "Lose Yourself." Obviously, that's everybody knows that one. But you were telling me some stuff about Eminem. I had no idea about. Maybe you guys do. Maybe you do about the whole why you didn't show up at that award ceremony.
Oh yeah, recently the 2020 Grammys, he had a secret performance that nobody knew about. None of the actors and other people, other than whoever ran it, knew about. He decided that he just wanted to show up because back in 2003 he had won a Grammy for "Lose Yourself" in the movie 8 Mile, and he never showed up. He, on a quote, said that he was at home taking care of his daughter and she had to go to school in the morning. From what he remembers, he was asleep when the Grammys were even filming, so he wasn't even there.
I love that reason though.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think it's good.
To make sure your daughter gets up to go to school in the morning, as
Yeah.
opposed to going accepting a Grammy. That's
Yeah, and so this year, his daughter's in her mid-20s now, so
Yeah.
obviously it doesn't matter. So he decided to go there after 18 years and finally perform. He said he had a great time, but nobody knew about it. It was a surprise.
I saw the performance. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good
Yeah,
performance.
yeah.
It was a
Decent
surprise
show.
performance nobody knew about. If you look at the crowd, they have films of the crowd. Every single person, celebrity, no matter who it was singing along to that song. Everyone, they gave him a
Yeah,
standing
they're all into
ovation.
it. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it was just it was a cool
He
time.
always came across as a good dude to me.
Well, from the stuff he's been through, it's really not. He could be a bad person. I'm sure there's stuff against him, but
Right.
you know.
Well, you know, my mother, so we had similar upbringing, and that's why I think I related to, what was the one, cleaning out your closet
Cleaning
or
Out
something
My
like
Closet,
that?
yeah.
I related to that one, just like Lose Yourself. It was, I understand different backgrounds, but it resonated with me, just because of similar situations. But
Yeah. Even as big as he is, like I was telling you the other day, one of the top, if not the top rapper on the planet, he treats rapping like a 9-to-5 job. He doesn't show up and...
Yeah.
he was telling me about this.
I actually heard Akon say it when he went to work with him. Usually, you know, rappers nowadays, everybody, they're in their studio for all day, all night, and, you know, their wife's calling, like, where are you? They're just working. He went to work with Eminem, and he got there at like 6 p.m. and he wasn't even there. So he was like, where are you? He called him, and he was like, he said that, you know, I'm home. I'm with my daughter. Well, I thought you were going to be recording. He said, yeah, I'll be there at 9 in the morning. And, you know, he said he couldn't believe that he shows up at 9, takes his lunch at 1, comes back at 1:30, and records until 5 o'clock. And once 5 o'clock hits, he's out of the studio.
See you, bitches.
And he asked him, he's like, yo, why do you treat it like a 9-to-5 job? And Eminem replied and was like, dude, it's rap. It's going to be there when we get back. It doesn't matter if we're there 14 hours or
Well
9.
said.
It doesn't matter.
That's awesome to me. Somebody that big who had the upbringing he had to treat something like that in the industry as a 9-to-5 job because it isn't going anywhere. You know, to me, that's just to spend time with his family, just to spend time with his daughter, his old lady, whatever. So
yeah. He said that. He said, you know, like, I have a wife, I have a life, I have kids, you know.
That's awesome to me. Somebody that big to do something like that, I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
Once you told me that,
It's crazy.
I mean, I liked it before that too.
Shows the type of person he is.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's
like,
what I was looking
he's not like one of those stuck-up rappers that knows he makes millions of dollars.
He always seemed like he was a down-to-earth. He never lost that down-to-earthness of himself. I know some people are upset with him now because of the comments he made about Trump, and we don't get political on this show, so you're not going to hear all that from us. But as a person, I definitely like that he is grounded and he's down to earth. And it's an assumption, but I would assume he's like one of those guys you can walk up to and say, "Hey, man, what's going on? You know, nice to meet you."
Yeah.
I mean, as opposed to one of those crazy fans, you know, trying to rip stuff off of the guy.
Yeah.
But you know, just if you were to walk up to him and walking to a mall or something and say, "Hey, man, what's going on?" And he seems like the kind of guy who's, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah.
You know
Once
what I mean?
Get
He
past those like 30 bodyguards.
Yeah, well, he does seem like that kind of guy though.
He's got that like celebrity life like Keanu Reeves. You don't really see him out much because he's just like always home. He's kind of like, because even Keanu Reeves knows he's big.
Yeah.
So Eminem knows he's big. So I mean, anywhere he goes, he gets hounded by people. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on him from. I've looked up multiple research about it and try to understand the stuff that he says, because you don't want to get on his bad side either. Everyone will tell you don't want to get on his bad side, because the minute that you get on it, you're never getting off.
He'll rap about you in the next
Well, he
song.
killed a few careers too, didn't he?
Yeah, Ja Rule in like, I don't know if it was 2000, 2001, something like that.
That was the guy who was in the first Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
One of the things we know is that guy.
Yeah, it's not how you stand by your car. It's how you race your car. Yeah, that guy. That's Ja Rule. I guess they had some sort of beef back in like the early 2000s. I think it was before that movie even came out. And Ja Rule said something about him, and Eminem made a song about Ja Rule, and he didn't rap ever since.
Done.
He was done. There's another rapper, Benzino. He was becoming big, and he said something about Eminem, and he made a song called "Nail in a Coffin" or something like that. And it's like one of his top diss tracks. If you ever listen to it,
rap, not one of my strengths.
Yeah, it's like you never even heard of Benzino. Like he just disappeared off the face of the earth.
If it wasn't for Fast and Furious, you probably wouldn't know who Ja Rule was.
You gotta get on the bad side of a rapper.
Well, I think
people write about you.
I think people did that though to make a name for themselves. The problem is when they used Eminem, it kind of backfired on him because
that's what happened with
MGK. Yeah, and the only reason I know him is he was one of the helpers on Catfish.
Oh yeah. Well, he's a big celebrity, but again, he got a lot of fame from that song he came out. He said something about Eminem's daughter, and Eminem.
Oh, you played that for me.
Yeah,
man.
He said something about his daughter years ago, and he never responded.
No.
And then he said something else again, and Eminem came back at him. He made a line in a song. Eminem said that MGK's best song doesn't beat his worst song. And if you look it up, MGK's best song has like 70 million hits. Eminem's worst has like 250 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like not even close.
His worst song.
Eminem's worst song is past double
probably
the
most
hits
downloaded.
that MGK's best song. Yeah.
That's incredible.
So, but yeah, and then of course now after that whole debacle happened, now MGK doesn't even rap anymore. He does rock.
Well, we're just starting out, and Marshall, we love you, bud.
He's gonna talk about us.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I met him, but like, nicest guy from what I know, and you just don't say anything bad about him. Nobody wants to have any.
I'm definitely not going to say anything bad about him.
I want to be in someone's song, but not like that.
Yeah, no.
At my point in life, I'd love to be in a song if it was good or bad. At least
I
I got
right?
some.
Yeah,
some
but you know
respect.
what? It takes a little bit longer, but be nice to the guy, and maybe he'll bring you in to collab with him.
Yeah,
you know what I
that'd be
mean?
even better. Yeah.
So Eminem, if you ever want to get down and show up here,
That'd be
You
amazing.
could be a guest if you like.
I'll make sure I bring my son because he loves you.
He's the only person that probably fangirl over.
We could put a leaf in
Oh,
his
really?
thing.
Yeah. Everyone else is kind of like, unless Chester Bennington came back alive.
I don't think. Yeah, it's going to be tough to get him here.
Then
But see, I love Chester, so now you're talking Linkin Park, we're in.
I love Linkin Park. If you really, even Linkin Park, I mean, I'm sure a lot of bands, if you actually were to listen to the lyrics, after everything happened with Chester, if you go back and listen to his first and second album,
can see it coming.
You can hear all of the lyrics.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, even the later stuff like "Bleed It Out" and
you
you definitely see something. Even when he was doing the Stone Temple, sounded great.
Yeah,
That was, and I don't really. I mean, I love Scott Weiland, so I didn't.
myself.
Yeah, and it just when I heard he was going over there, I was like, oh my god, his voice is kind of high, but man, did he sound good.
Yeah, he does.
He sounded really good.
If you listen to the song "Leave Out All the Rest," he says in the song, "When my time comes, remember what I've done and leave out all the rest." You could just hear it right there.
Right.
Like the way he sings it, you could tell something's coming. And then right after that.
Unfortunately, and this seems to get into a dark kind of thing, and I guess it's kind of fitting because we did lose a friend, Greg, who was a band member of Curse of Her Flesh, I remember. So getting into Chester, and Scott Weiland's still alive, but one of the greatest rock voices on the planet for Soundgarden also is no longer around. Chris Cornell, to me, had one of the best rock voices ever. And it was not hysterical, it was kind of funny that the way they were found is Pearl Jam Eddie Vedder, when Pearl Jam would go out on concert, he would always wear Soundgarden merch.
Yep, that's right.
Oh,
So he'd be on, if you go look at them in the 90s, Eddie Vedder would be wearing Soundgarden shirts. And everybody's like, who is this band? Who is this band? And then they got together and made Temple of the Dog. The song Hunger Strike, everybody pretty much knows. But they did the collab together, and that's when Soundgarden got to be a little bit bigger. And But Chris Cornell's voice was, to me, just the best rock voice until...
Brent Smith from Shinedown.
Yeah.
Shinedown, his voice is, I've seen him 3 times in concert.
Did you?
And he sounds...
I always want to see
you could play the song on your phone next to it, and it sounds exactly the same. There's no editing
And
at
he
all.
has...
Every pitch you could possibly
My
think
God,
of.
that guy's voice is
High-low.
phenomenal.
You know what I can't stand when bands do in their live? They'll switch up from their studio album so much that it's like it takes away from it for me a little bit.
Yeah,
It
you have,
does.
like, no
For
idea.
me anyway.
Yeah, you got
But
no
you-
idea who the guy is when you hear that.
They'll change
Sometimes.
solos, they'll do all sorts
But
of
I think,
shit
well,
that I
Bon
can't
Jovi did that a lot too
Yeah,
with,
he did.
Prayer. They came out with Prayer 94.
But
But I think
You
they
do that
that.
in the album though. Per 94. You
Well,
do
yeah,
something
they ended up
different.
coming out with that. But I think bands do that because you go out there and you're touring and you're playing the same song night after night, over and over, the same way, that different towns, different
I'm sure they
cities
get bored
for
with the same old shit.
right, playing the same thing every
I get
night,
it, but still, that's what people are paying to see.
paying to see, right,
They bought your album because they liked what they heard.
Yeah, exactly.
Not for you to go change it and then you got to sell that to them.
right.
Exactly.
But then
That's
again, you've been in the business for a long time, and you're going to see a Bon Jovi concert. I mean, Bon Jovi's.
Tough shit.
I understand, but you're going to hear. They came out with a new album. Do you want to hear the new album, or do you want to hear the old shit that got you to where you are today? You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes
But don't
the
forget.
old shit is the
90-10.
best stuff.
Oh,
though.
agreed. As a
90-10.
fan,
Yeah.
I understand that. But as an artist, you're so tired of playing that song after 10,000 times.
Yeah. I can see that.
And again, that's no excuse. I mean,
I
that's
saw
what
I saw an interview. Eagles. Help me out with the guitar player. Not Glenn
Joe
Frey.
Walsh?
Joe Walsh. It was an interview. He said, years and years of playing the same crap. Not crap, but he says the same stuff. You get bored. You don't perform like you used to because your passion's not always there. You have to remember there's people in the audience that have never seen you before.
Right.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true.
To let them down is not a good
Right.
not a good thing either.
And it is, and that's a tough balance to have to do because I mean, as an artist, you want to create something new. I mean, think of a painting, think of a sculpture, think of I mean, if you look at it, these guys are still artists. They're coming up with new music, whether it's Eminem with his rap or it's Shinedown with their music or whatever it is. You do something the same way over and over again. It sounds great and everybody loves it. That's why they go see you again.
Right.
But like you said, somebody hasn't seen you before. They want to hear what they heard on the album, but you've already played it 10,000 times. You don't have that.
Especially, I could definitely see a change, and especially if like your sales drop or like things are starting to drop. You got to switch something.
Try
up.
to mix
like,
it up
you're
a
doing
little
the
bit,
same thing over and over. Obviously, you're not getting anywhere.
Right.
So
well, like
it
Bon
makes
Jovi
sense.
with living on a prayer.
Yeah,
How big and popular was that song?
Yeah.
And then Prayer
Still
94,
is.
they changed it up a little bit. And now everybody loves that too. And I think that's why a lot of bands do acoustic.
I know you might not like me for saying this, but Shinedown did a version of your favorite band, Leonard Skinner. He did a version of Simple Man.
Yes, and it's better than Skinner's. I'll tell you right now.
I think it's better than Skinner.
As a diehard Skinner fan, which you all know now, if you watch the favorite band,
That's tough to say too.
it is tough to say.
Have you heard Shinedown's version of it?
Yeah.
I think
great version.
I think it's better than the original.
As
I
a
was upset
diehard,
that it was better.
as a diehard Skinner fan,
like,
it was
no.
better. Brett's voice is just.
Dude, it's just.
I hated that song was better.
It was so
than
good,
Skinner.
man. When they do it live.
I'm sorry, Ronnie.
Oh man, doing it live.
I mean,
song about
he
you,
does
man.
pay an homage to you by kind of outdoing you a little
If he
bit.
was a
but-
rapper, you'd be screwed.
Yeah. Dude,
that's-
performing that live was when I saw him perform that live, I was like mesmerized. Like it was.
Oh, that
it
was
amazing.
so cool live.
He like came out. We were in the lawn,
YouTube.
and he came out halfway between the seats in the lawn and stood on a
Oh,
stand.
Really?
Yeah, and they had a drum set come up. The guitarist is really talented, but he does it on point the way Leonard Skinner did it. They just sang it right there. The only problem that I had at that concert was the fact that people were in a mosh pit during Simple Man, which made no sense. There was like 2 of them. I was like, what are you moshing to? This is like the slowest, most vibe song you could ever listen to.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone had their phones out.
They don't do light
I know.
phones.
Yeah,
It's
they
not
do
lighters
phones.
anymore, you
Some
old
people
bastard.
there are a few people that
I
still
know.
use lighters, but like it's rare.
Now
But-
there's a lighter app.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, yeah. It's like there's a Zippo app.
there?
Yeah. Flip up the Zippo. His voice is by far my favorite rock voice of right now. What I was saying before, Linkin Park.
Yeah.
My favorite band. I wish I saw him live. Every time I wanted to see him live, the first time He had
They
to
canceled.
He had to get throat surgery.
Right.
Then the
Yep.
second time we're about to get tickets.
We had tickets for that, the one that they canceled.
And then I was about to get tickets for the one right before he passed.
Yeah.
There was a show he had coming to Hartford, and I was like, oh, I want to get in there. And then the week or two before he passed away, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Although you could go see Death Threat for just shooting that out to you, Wes.
Did you guys know that John Bon Jovi bought the band in 1990?
He did, yes.
Yeah.
Well, everybody in the band gets paid a salary.
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
They all work for him.
They all worked for
They
him.
have been since the
Yes.
90s. So.
Wow. I didn't know that at all.
That was an issue with Richie Sambora from what I understand.
That's why they had that out.
Yeah,
and when wasn't it the MTV show where they came out acoustically was the first time they had gotten together in like 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, I want to see you right. Richie departed the band for his own reasons.
Right.
John Bon Jovi is a workaholic. John will tour every day for the rest of his life until he's in his 90s.
Yeah.
Richie had a different plan. He was missing out on his daughter growing up. That was At first, I was really mad at John Bon Jovi for John's got an ego. This is why Richie can't handle him. You know, there was a whole bunch of rumors at the time when I found out eventually that Richie was just tired of touring. He wanted family time.
Yeah,
he
makes sense.
It does. You got to have that time, which is why I think Eminem does what he does. To spend time with his daughter and his wife.
Best of both worlds, kind of.
Right.
And speaking of getting back together with bands, I was actually just reading up on Puddle of Mud.
Oh, okay.
Are they getting back?
Yeah, they are back together, but they're not big. So what happened was because of the fact back when was 2002.
They're big to me. I love Puddle of Mud.
Their first album, Come Clean. What was it, 2002 or 3 or something like that?
It was around there, yeah.
That was when they got big, and I guess because
it was Blurry
and Control being their top songs, Wes started to like do all kinds of drugs and everything like that. He got arrested, like he had like 11 charges, like 12, like he just got so much.
You know what, Scott Weiland? Because I'm sure Scott Weiland is watching this.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
He's laughing at that number.
Arrested all the time, and then he kept doing shows while he was on drugs. And there was one point where he literally stopped the show to tell somebody in the crowd to fuck off. Oh. Like he took his shirt off and everything. Like, he was just going crazy. So the whole band that was with him for Come Clean was like they all left. They were like, I can't do this anymore. This is ridiculous. Yeah. Their revenue started going down. And then when he got clean, after like 2 or 3 years of being clean, his band before A Puddle of Mud, his original townmates. Came back, we're like, all right, you know, you're our brother, like, we'll see what we can do. And they started doing little shows here and there. So they're not as big, but they're together and they're all clean.
See, I love that. That's awesome.
I actually, if you look up on YouTube, there's a 2019, because they came out with that new album, Welcome to Galvania.
Oh, that's right. That's right,
yes. New album. And they were performing it in a small venue, somewhere. And their whole band is still there. And they're all clean now, and they're all starting like brand new.
Cool.
So it's like a good story.
It's gotta be scary because if you've gone on stage every day since you made it big, Hamburger.
And now you're doing it sober?
Eddie Van Halen had a big problem with that.
Yeah.
For him to go on stage not half in the bag was not easy for him.
I hate to always bring him up, but like to me he's relevant to everything. Like Eminem, I keep bringing him up, but he had the same problem with drugs. He still has that because a lot of people still say that his best songs were when he was on drugs. And if you look at numbers, they were.
Yeah.
But you know, some of his other best songs, some of his top-selling songs were when he was sober. In his album Recovery, that's when you have Not Afraid. I love the way he live with Rihanna. Yeah. Like those are his top songs. And they actually said in his album Recovery, in that album, they had said if you just put those 2 songs on that album, it still would have went triple platinum.
Yeah.
From how much those songs sold.
Wow.
Yeah, listen to it, you liked it.
He went through all that, drugs, everything, and it's crazy because there are some albums that are like, in my opinion, not the greatest.
Yeah.
But you know, everybody goes through that. Everyone that's big, I seems to go through those drug problems.
Right. Young though.
Motley Crue. They went through.
I have seen them. I can't tell you how many times, and I did see them once later on. Sorry, Vince, just not so good, buddy.
No, I
heard
that too.
Before, back in the '80s, let me tell you something. That band knew how to put on a show.
Oh yeah.
Insane.
So when you saw them not so good?
Yeah, I did. And
I heard that recently because they went on tour recently. Yeah, and they didn't do as well.
He did lose a bunch of weight though recently.
He did. Well, it's not even the weight, dude. It was his voice. It didn't have the highs that he had when he was younger. And I think that happens to a lot of us when we get older.
Older.
Yeah, I mean, which is why again, Geddy Lee from Rush.
Oh man.
They.
R.I.P. Neil Peart.
Yeah. That's
a drummer.
My number one guy. Yeah. But again, Geddy Lee, there's a lot of songs he didn't do anymore. My favorite song by them was Red Barchetta. And I think it was about 5 years before what happened to Neil Peart. They did not do that song anymore. They said publicly that they would not play Red Barchetta anymore. And it bothered me, and it comes out later. I found out that it's because Geddy couldn't hit the highs. But if you listen to them later on, like within the last 10 years, his voice isn't as high as it used to be.
Oh, it starts to get lower.
Again, I don't know if it's because of the age. Maybe he didn't have
He used to falsetto like the Bee Gees.
Oh my
Later on in life, they didn't sing that way either, bro.
Oh yeah.
They needed vices to.
Yeah.
I won't explain.
Correct.
it.
Somebody punched me in the nuts, quick.
Oh,
Going on.
my son, my little boy.
Really? Really?
Not anymore.
Oh, I'm gonna show a
Little
picture
boy.
of that one.
That's not him.
right.
I gotta tell you.
Yeah, it ain't me anymore. That was my other life.
That's what it
A lot
was.
of swear words.
You're so old, yeah. We did name off a lot of bands here again. I mean, we're just going to talk about a couple. But you guys out there, comment below what your favorite bands are. What kind of stories you know about your bands. You know, what stories you know. What some sad things that have happened. And I mean, you had asked a question I think earlier about what's up with the 27 Club.
Yeah, that's scary shit, man. I don't like to see that.
Well, again, I just think it was
Actors, singers.
But you look at the popularity at such a young age.
Yeah.
I mean, for them to pass it, when you're talking Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, you had in Kurt Cobain. I mean, look at their popularity before they passed. They all passed at 27, but look at that short, 5-year span.
Yeah.
I mean, how big to get that big? I mean, most of us couldn't even fathom
That's a lot of pressure.
A lot of people sit there and say, "Oh, I can handle it this way." Until you're in that position, you don't know what you're going to do. I mean, to not be able to walk out of your house. Because you're getting mobbed.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody would. Oh, I'd love that.
I
don't think
now,
you would.
right?
You might love it for the first week.
Do
or
you?
two.
Yeah.
You might love it for the first week or two, but then when you can't go shopping like you normally used to.
I don't know if it'll last a week or two, man. I mean, that's got to be some tough shit to go through.
I mean, yeah, true.
I can like us, but don't like him.
Yeah, there you go.
Fair enough. But if you like them, make sure you leave a like and comment below.
Oh, that's fair enough. That works.
I'm good with people not liking me as long as they like the channel. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. It's all good with me. I'm starting to rhyme.
Oh.
Should do a song with Eminem.
I'm sure I'm next on his list.